The Wayans Brothers show.
Yeah.
How do you guys get that picked up?
Well, Sean did a showcase for Warner Brothers and all these different places. He had a showcase at the Laugh Factory, and Warner Brothers wanted to sign him to a deal.
Okay.
So he goes to have the meeting, and I just had More Money come out. They said, what do you want to do? He goes, I always want to do a show with my brother Marlon. Right? And me and him was already working on the Wayans Brothers. And he was like, oh, Marlon for More Money and Let Me Come? The two of you? Great. And so we started developing the show. It was David Lee and Leslie Simon, and we sat there and we created the show together. And then we got to NBC, we got to the table read. And they didn't want John Witherspoon. They didn't want him. They thought he was too ghetto. They thought that John was too country, that he was too Detroit. You know, that Detroit player, brother. You know, John has a very, distinct personality,
exactly.
Bro. He was very, John the ghetto. They didn't want him as our father. Me and Sean was like, we don't want no other father. And they was like, either you replace the father or you don't get on our air. And we said, we're not replacing the father. And so NBC didn't pick us up. So then we're nowhere. And then WB is being created, and they needed a flagship show. And we did this pilot called Wayans Brothers. And they was like,
we'll take it.
We'll take it. So me and Sean, with John, we said, you gotta take John Witherspoon, bet. And from there, the Wayans Brothers.
You do realize to be on network television, and the only thing that you had to do in order to get on network television was to change a character. You know how many people would have changed that one character?
Yeah. But we have a loyalty and we have instincts, and you gotta trust your instincts. Without John Witherspoon, Wayans Brothers, me and Sean is always gonna be funny, but you need a triangle offense.
You need that dad.
You need that triangle offense. That every time we threw John the ball, we knew that was
Curry.
We knew it. He stepped. Or Clay. We knew it every time, John, and we had the time of our lives. We laughed so much. We used to go to lunch together, and John, he's so country. John would order 2 chickens, and we was like, oh, cool. So you gonna split this with him? No, nigga, get your own. This all mine. No vegetables, this chicken. Me and Sean was calling him Chicken Man. And but man, we had so much fun. And he was like, always telling me, Marlon, you need to get more keys, see? You need to have more keys. Don't just, you got this actor key, you got the producer key, see? Now, you want to be like a janitor where you can open up any door you want. You got to get you them keys. You need to get this stand-up key. And for years, I never did stand-up. I think because of fear. I think because I grew up in this household with all these comedians, and I always felt intimidated. I always felt like, Damon, I'm never gonna match what Damon's doing. And I'm never gonna do what Keenan's been able to do. I can't do what Sean and Kim, everybody. When you do comedy, you tell stories from your life. I got 4 niggas already telling the stories of my life.
Yes.
So what do I have to say by the time I come along?
They don't beat you to the punch.
Exactly. But then you realize, oh no, that's their stories from their point of view. And as a comedian, as an individual, I got my own stories. I got my own point of view. I got my own journey with my parents, and my relationship is different. I got each one of these brothers I could talk about and pull from. I went to performing arts high school.
Right.
I didn't do stand-up till later. I have a different journey. And so that now gives me complete confidence. But John used to always say, Marlon, you got the gifts. You need to go get them keys. And now that he's gone, I'm hitting them stages so hard. Cause I'm like, John, I'm gonna get them keys. I'm gonna get these keys. I'm gonna go down as one of the greats. Cause that inspiration, he's one of the people up there with my parents that I want to make proud, and God.
I'm looking at some of the guests that you've had on. You had Bernie Mac, Missy Elliott, Jerry Springer, Gary Coleman, Pam Grier, Monica, Kenny Lofton, Camacho, Busta Rhymes, Keith Sweat, En Vogue, Paula Abdul. Who are some of your favorite guests that you had on the Wayans Brothers?
Well, damn, you didn't mention them so fast. I don't. Who was the first?
Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac. Okay, so Bernie Mac. People don't know this. Bernie Mac's first movie Wayans, we put on a lot of people. We put on a lot of people because if you funny, we want to give you opportunity. You know, the first thing Bernie Mac did, Mo Money, he played a bouncer in Mo Money. Second thing he did, we put him in a movie, Don't Be a Menace. He played Officer Self-Hatred. Wow. Then we put him on Wayans Brothers. Then me and Bernie did Above the Rim together. Like, I love Bernie Mac. Me and Bernie was very tight. You know, I love that man, but I always knew, once again, I always knew he was gonna be funny. I always knew. So he was one of my favorites. I remember we would improvise something, and we'd have some kind of black joke or black in the hat, and then he'd walk out of the room and go, "Shut up, bitch." it would just kill. And he was one of my favorites, Busta Rhymes. We put on everybody that we are fans of.
Right.
In Vogue, we are fans of In Vogue, fans of Missy Elliott. It was good to act with them and work with them. And we always thought of it like I Love Lucy, you know, where she would have guest stars on, you know, that she was fans of or friends with. And, you know, I remember Busta came on and, you know, we was backstage, and after the show, we gambled. We was playing craps. And I think I beat Busta for like 7G. I think to this day, he's still pissed off at me. He killed them that night.
This is what I really want to know, because you were a part of it. Do you think we'll ever see an era of black sitcoms like we saw in the 90s? You had The Fresh Prince, you had Your Show, you had Martin, you had Jamie Foxx, you had Living Single, you had the Cosby, you had so many. Will we ever see that again?
I believe we can surpass that. I'm hopeful. You talking to a dreamer.
Okay.
You talking to somebody that understands positive affirmations.
Okay.
That you put that power in the universe. We ain't peaked. Black people, we just beginning.
Okay.
We just beginning. Now, we gonna have some work to do because as long as we're not owning the networks and owning the airwaves and having the executives that get our humor, then we're gonna be minimalized and marginalized. So I'm hopeful that there's gonna be a new way of doing things.
Okay.
And I think we'll be able to do even more than what we did in the past, because I think the talent nowadays, you know, there's some special people out there, and not just people, not just actors. Before Hollywood was raising actors. Since me and my brothers came along, and Robert Townsend and Eddie Murphy and all these people, like now, you got visionaries coming along. You got, you know, Issa Rae's, you got Jordan Peele's, you got visionaries. That's not just people that's just like, oh, I'm gonna act in something. You got me. Right. You got people that's like, no. I'm gonna craft something and produce something and create something that is of us.
The Kenya Barrises.
Yes, the Kenya Barrises. You know what I'm saying? We are visionaries. So we just gotta do more. We have to collectivize. We have to do more stuff together, empower each other, stop breaking each other down, right? Sometimes they don't know. You know, coming from a legacy, I understand how important it is to build each other, not break each other, right? We ain't crabs in a barrel, right? How can I help your platform? How can I help you out?
Right.
One day if I have a show, hey, can you come?
Yes.
I'd love to have Goat talk with you and talk to you about your legendary career and all you've done and how you've grown as an industry and how you've grown from, I remember when you first came on the air. When you first came on, you could barely, boy, you were southern as hell. Who put this man at that dip in the back of my and then dip out there, them dip. You was, and now you doing this, you doing vocal exercises before. I said, look at this man. He taking his craft serious. I said, go on, Shan. I was watching you.
Yeah.
But I'm proud to see the evolution, right? I'm proud to drink this.
Thank you.
I'm proud to come on this platform. I think we need to do more of this.
Right.
I don't believe I need to break you down to build me up, because that's insecurity. I believe in love. And I'm gonna have a great journey. I'm gonna work with wonderful people and do wonderful things.
Explain to me and my audience, how does syndication work? Because you say it's like living.
Don't. They stopped that shit. Damn it. After Seinfeld, they said, after Cosby, they said, no more niggas gonna get that much money ever.
So syndication was you had to do what, 100 shows?
100 shows.
100 episodes.
100 episodes. I personally, I think if I do TV again, I want to go back to that model for me. Yeah. I want to do sitcom. I want to do TV. I want to do.
But they won't syndicate you anymore?
I want to do it. I think it's still a model that is necessary. I think the brands need a place to go. I think the networks have given up and they've allowed the streamers to kill their business. See, we live in a greedy business and they try to compete with each other. I just feel like sometimes, let Netflix be Netflix.
Right.
Everybody ain't got to create that. You gonna kill your business to go try and do their business and spend all this money chasing their business when let them have their business. I like the syndication thing. I want to do it. I could do a Netflix or a stream. I've been very successful on all those. But I truly believe in the syndication thing. You do 100 episodes, maybe 200 episodes, and then you sell it market by market. And then you sell it to the streamers. There's a big business in it. I paid $3 million an episode. If I get $3 million back on the first run, then I'm recouping everything that I've made. And then the second run, and if I'm getting $1 million an episode for those 200 episodes, that's $400 million.
Right.
Right? You got to think about the business of the business. And now I just feel like our business is gobbling itself up and we need to break out of it, and get back to not everything being under one roof.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party because we like to do something before two something.